Hello and welcome back to my channel and to today's video where I am going to be doing quite a large holiday vacation try on because I am going away next month toward the end of July. I'm going on a cruise. Very exotic. Now the items on my rail today are not specific or limited to a cruise, it's just vacation vibes in general. And before I start, all of the links and sizes are going to be down below in the description box for you guys, just to make it easy. So I'm going to start off with item number one, and I've broken this rail down into categories. So the first category is dresses, and the first dress is this navy vest dress from Vest Dress. I like that, from Stradivarius. So as I mentioned, it is a very basic vest dress, but it does have this like ruching detail around the tummy area. Now my tummy is not quite as toned as what it used to be. It's something that I would like to work on, and I haven't got a lot of work to do, but it definitely, I would like to have it a bit more toned. So my tummy can sometimes be an area where I feel a little bit self-conscious, especially when I eat, because I do bloat when I eat certain things. And I just don't like to cut stuff out because I really love food. So I actually quite like the ruching detail on this because I feel like it's just a bit more flattering in that tummy area. Now another little style detail of this dress, if I spin it round, it's got quite a low scooped back. Now whilst this is beautiful, and especially if you've got a nice tanned back, looks amazing, it would cause a few issues in terms of bra. Now, it's not so low that you couldn't wear one of those bras that crosses sort of down towards the bottom part of your back, or you could wear one of those sticky bras, or no bra at all if you are that way inclined. It does not have in though like a built-in bra or that elasticated section, so there's no support in here at all. Moving on to dress number two, and this one might surprise some of you because I'm not hugely into florals. That said, I feel like this print isn't your usual kind of Laura Ashley style floral. It's a bit more bold, it's a bit more graphic, and of course it's black and white, which is very much my cup of tea. Now this is from the brand Me&M, which is a British brand. I would say they're not quite luxury, but they're also not high street. They're sort of in that middle area. I kind of put them in the same category. They're like a category above COS and a similar kind of category to the likes of Jigsaw, for example. And I feel like this dress is a good all-rounder. Whilst it's good for holidays, I also think this is something that can be worn for our beautiful, hopefully, British summers. It's one of those pieces which you can dress up a little bit, or at least whilst it feels a bit more like a day dress, I feel like it's one of those day dresses that just looks a bit more elevated, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. It's not quite an evening dress, but if you're going out in an evening, especially when on holiday, I feel like this is appropriate. But then you can also do a straw bag, a basket bag, hat, flat sandals, and then it's completely appropriate for daytime as well. I like versatility, always looking for the versatility in pieces. Dress number three is another Me&M dress. This one is a beautiful cheesecloth. It's got a tiered skirt at the bottom. We've got two tiers, again fully lined. So whilst it's white and it is 100% cotton, that gauzy cheesecloth fabric, you do not need to be concerned about it being see-through. It's got a little twisted knot section at the front which gives it a bit of detail, and then quite a low V, but I don't find it to be like too booby, if that makes sense. I don't really have a large bust, but on me I don't find it to be, you know, overly revealing. Then we've got these cute little sleeves, which again, another thing which I get a little bit hung up on because they need a bit of toning. They're not quite as toned as what they used to be, are my upper arms. And I think I've mentioned that before, and that's why I like a slightly longer t-shirt length, or why it's preferred. I won't ever limit myself to what I wear because I do wear vests and strapless dresses and things. but sometimes I feel a little bit self-conscious about the top of my arms, and these cover the tops of my arms, which is an added bonus, and they're like elasticated so they don't feel tight. Doesn't feel like I've got the sausages crammed in there. It also has, in terms of comfort, a little elasticated sheared section on the back as well, which is essentially the waistband. So it's just all these little details along with, where are they? There they are, pockets again, which I think this brand does really well. They really think about the little details and don't just give you a nice looking dress, but a functional one as well. Okay, my next dress, this feels so cruisy, and that's why I'm definitely going to be taking this with me on the cruise. It does have cruise vibes written all over it. So this is my third dress from M&M. It's my third and last dress from M&M. And this is a navy boucle dress. Now, some of you might remember that I actually had a skirt but in cream and black, which was the exact same fabric and basically was the exact same style as this bottom section minus the top. So it was just a skirt, and that came with a matching top as well, which I never managed to get my hands on. Well, this season they have brought out the dress. So it is the same skirt as I had last year with a top sort of racer style vest attached to the top, but it's not a racer back completely. It doesn't scoop quite in. But it does have this really nice cutout section, and it doesn't leave a lot of skin on show. So yeah, it's a really beautiful dress. Again, it's quite heavy. And our cruise, I feel like this is definitely a dress that I'm going to be wearing on board the ship as opposed to when we're getting off, because the temperatures of some of the stops that we're making are about 36 degrees Celsius, and yeah, I think I'm just going to be head to toe in linen on those days. Right, the next two dresses are the same. I just bought them in both colours. This was a dress which I knew I was going to love, hence why I bought it in two colours. And that is because it's very much kind of like a beachy, pooly, throw-on, cover-up style dress. And was it last year or the year before? And Other Stories came out with a pointelle dress, which is essentially the same sort of thing, just a throw-on dress, but you can see through it to a degree. And that dress was so popular. So now lots of high street brands since then have been bringing out this long sleeve kind of beachy cover-up dress. So the fabric is sheer. You can see what you're wearing underneath, which is why it's a perfect opportunity to have your swimwear on underneath. But I also think it's a good thing that if you're going to just pop your swimwear on, pop this over the top, get your beach bag, hat, sandals. I think it's appropriate, obviously, depending on where you are vacationing. I would say it's completely appropriate to head to breakfast wearing that, and it's the sort of thing where you could then head straight to the pool afterwards. But it has a ribbed fabric, sheer. I would say the creamy colour is more sheer than the black, but my advice would be to wear the same colour swimwear as the dress underneath. I just think visually it's a good look, and also I just think that in terms of see-through ability, it kind of offsets it a little bit. So yes, that's those, and they were $27.99. Okay, next up is another dress from H&M. This was $37.99. This is 100% cotton. It's actually a double layered dress, because as you might be able to tell, the outer fabric is that kind of cottony, gauzy fabric, and it's got that pleated sort of texture to it. It's like your typical beachy cover-up beach dress fabric. So it does have essentially like a cotton slip dress built into the dress, and actually the little skinny straps of that, which is underneath, creates this double, very skinny spaghetti strap situation. And I just think it looks really pretty. Both of those straps then gather round at the back and go into one adjustable section. It's beautiful when it moves. It's nice and light and airy. It doesn't need to be, or rather you do not need to size up in this dress. I tried a small and a medium, and the medium it made me look huge, because obviously there is a lot of fabric, so dresses like this can sometimes make one look slightly larger than one is. So yes, my size advice would be do not size up. I have a small in this. And again, it could just be like a cover up for going to the pool or the beach, but then equally I think it could be a good morning breakfast dress. Or do you know what? It could even be dressed up as something a little bit more, not necessarily evening, but I think if you've got more of a casual evening affair, like a buffet. I feel like there's a lot of black, but it is me. We do have some more non-black coming up. But the next one is black. Now this dress does also come in cream. It is from Marks and Spencer, and it's your classic kind of cotton. I always call these like little house on the prairie dresses because they have these little puffed sleeves with the elasticated section. You can just puff them up a little bit. But then has the elasticated waistband. If we twizzle it round, there seems to be a bit of a running theme with a little bit of back flesh on the rail, but it does have, in the same way as that Me and M boucle dress, the navy one, it has the same sort of cutout section on the back. Now this is a midi length, but it does come in 3 different lengths: regular, long, which I have because I'm tall, and then also petite, or I think they actually call it short, which I think is a little bit rude, but I don't know. The only thing that this dress is missing for me is pockets. It doesn't have pockets, and why, I do not know, because it would have been quite easy to pop pockets in there. But nonetheless, again, it's another just really, really easy dress that you don't need to think too much about. You can just add in your accessories. It's 100% cotton, so it's breathable, it's nice and lightweight. Staying with M&S, this is a crochet or knitted dress in khaki. It does also come in cream. And this, I think, is maxi. Online, it is described as midi, and I am tall, and this does not come in the 3 different leg lengths. This just comes as one. So if you are a little bit shorter, more petite, then obviously something to bear in mind because I'm quite tall. So this has, again, like most of the dresses that or like some of the dresses at least that I've spoken about, this has a little underdress, like a slip dress, which is, say, built in, it's just attached underneath. So because it is knitted, the outer part would be very see-through. There'd be nothing to stop you unpicking the stitch and taking that out if you did want to do the whole visible swimwear underneath and wear it more as a beach cover-up. But if you actually want to wear it as just a normal dress without it being see-through, there is that little slip dress underneath. It does have a little side split at the bottom on the left, just because it is a more figure-hugging dress, I would say. Not quite bodycon, but it's also not super loose. It is supposed to be a little bit more fitted, so that just makes it easier to walk in and so that you're not waddling in that kind of pencil style. Right, my next item is still a dress, but this one is specifically a little beach cover-up. So the fabric is very, very sheer. It is 100% the sort of fabric that is going to show what you're wearing underneath. So more than likely your swimwear, although you could definitely put a basic top on underneath, a basic vest. And do you know what? This is really short. It is a very short beach dress, and again, only comes in the normal length. It doesn't come in short or in long, it's just regular length. But I feel like if you are taller, or maybe if you just didn't like the length of it, I don't see what would stop you from actually wearing this as a slightly longer top, like a tunic. I feel like that's definitely something that could work with this dress. It's quite bohemian. It's got, what is this plant called? Monstera, that's it, cheese plant leaves on it. The embroidery is actually quite beautiful, quite intricate, and that is reflected in the price because this is from Marks and Spencer and it's £55. Which, if you're used to shopping in Marks and Sparks, £55 for a beach cover-up might shock you somewhat, but it is because of all this embroidery, which is all over the dress. Literally front, back, sleeves, you name it, it is embroidered. So we're going to stay with the theme of embroidery with my next dress, and I bought this as an option for one of my evening dresses. So cruises often have very specific dress codes, and a lot of the time the dress code will be specific to the dining location where you're dining. A lot of cruises have a dining rotation, so you'll be able to see probably these days on your app or in your itinerary somewhere where you're going to be dining. A lot of the restaurants that I've chosen to dine at have a smart casual dress code because I am not into that super dressy like ball gown vibes, and I am not judging anyone because I know that especially on cruises there are lots of people that love to do the whole tuxedos and ball gowns and that thing, and that is great. That's just not my style or my cup of tea because I just don't find those clothes comfortable and I'd never wear them again. However, a nice little dress like this that can be dressed up, could be a pair of heels, could be a nice pair of flats. I just think that this dress is beautiful and it's a lot more me. A, because it's beige, and I love beige, we are in the house of beige. But I just think it's a lot more wearable, it's something that I can get more wear out of in the future. And yeah, I just think it's really pretty. So it's obviously got these sort of defined cups. It has adjustable straps. It has all of this beautiful embroidery. And let me tell you, this dress is $49.99. In comparison to the Marks and Sparks little beach cover up, you get so much more for your money. And there are a couple of loose threads, but I've managed to kind of just sort those out. But otherwise, again, literally the entire dress is covered in this embroidery and it's really pretty. The next dress is for formal evening. So apparently on my cruise, because it's a 7-night cruise, there is one formal night. There is an opt-out, so if you didn't want to do formal night, you can do smart casual. But essentially it just means on this one night, you just make an extra bit of effort. So my extra bit of effort will more than likely be this dress, which was $22.99. It is just jersey. It is 95% cotton and 5% elastin. It's from Zara. It's quite figure-hugging, midi in length, black, which, do you know what? Sometimes I just think, I know it's not necessarily a little black dress, a midi black dress you can't go wrong with. For $22.99, even if I only wear this once more and then either donate it, sell it on, or just keep it in my wardrobe because it is one of those items which I suppose would be quite useful. It's not particularly revealing in any way, although there is a nice little bit of sort of off the shoulder detailing. It just made sense for me, and it's something that I can also put on and feel comfortable in, because that is probably one of the most important things for me when it comes to like dressing up. Right, now we are on the final dress of the rail. This one was from Arket. It was £119. The colour of this one is cream, but it also comes in a sort of rich brown colour as well. This is, I think, 60% viscose, 40% linen. So the fabric is nice and soft, it's nice and floaty, it moves nicely, but it is quite sheer. And this does not have, and especially for the price, it's quite surprising, this does not have any kind of little slip dress underneath. Fortunately, I do have one if I feel like I need it. But the fabric in this particular colour, it probably wouldn't be as sheer in the brown colour because it's darker. It is quite sheer. Now it is quite a loose fitting dress, so you can either size down to get it a little bit more fitted around the waist area. Definitely no need to size up. It is a nice dress, it's just quite minimal. I'd say it is a little bit overpriced for what it is. You could add a belt as well. I might do that in the cutaways, add a little belt just to give a slightly different look, but it is a beautiful dress. Right, we are moving on to the next category, which is trousers. So the first item in my trousers category are these Marks and Spencer's wide leg, elasticated waist, drawstring trousers. True to form with M&S, they come in 3 different leg lengths. I have, of course, gone for the long. These trousers I think I first discovered last year, and I think in comparison to the ones I bought last year, they haven't made any changes. 2 side pockets and then also 2 back pockets, which I think just give them a little bit more detail. And they are not 100% linen. They are a linen viscose blend, which makes the fabric softer. It also makes it flow nicer, wash better, and makes it less creaseability when you start blending in other fabrics, especially if it's more of a viscose, which has similar qualities to silk. So just makes it a little bit more slinky and a little bit more resistant to creasing, which I love. So these are my new black linen trousers. They do come in, I think, 7 other colours as well though, including all those core classics: black, neutral, white and navy. If you want a pair of linen trousers, I have no other recommendation for you than these. Okay, my next pair of trousers is also from Marks and Spencer, and let me tell you, I found these in store when I was actually going to do a food shop. I got slightly distracted by the clothing section and I just saw them hanging. I could see them from the fruit and veg area and I was like, I'm just gonna go and check those out. And I went and looked at them, and I would never have looked at these online. The online pictures do not do them justice. The fabric, it's creamy colour, but online it makes them look very yellow, and I don't know if that's also what's happening on camera, but they're not yellow. They are a really beautiful cream with this black print, and then there's a thicker black border print down at the bottom. I think these trousers are beautiful, and that's coming from me, someone who does not like a print other than stripes. So that's really saying something. It's a real testament. So like the linen trousers, they've got an elasticated waist, and they also have the little tie strings with little metal doobies on the end. They again come in the 3 leg lengths: short, regular, long. I have them in the long. They are 100% viscose, so they've got this really beautiful flowy movement to them. Just looking at them, they do give me holiday vibes. I feel like they'd be the sort of thing that you could wear to the beach or to the pool with your bikini top on top, and then maybe like a linen shirt worn open over the top, just as kind of casual with some flat sandals. But I also think they could be dressed up as well for more of like an evening situation. They're just really beautiful, and I love anything that's made of viscose. It's by far, along with linen, one of my favourite fabrics, just for that movement, because I just think it's really, really beautiful. I feel like I might be having a thing for embroidery, because I have another embroidered piece here. Again, this embroidery goes all the way down to the bottom. Slightly different embroidery in comparison to the dress and the Marks and Sparks dress, but literally embroidered all over the front and the back. They are a cropped style. They're in this really nice kind of creamy ecru colour, and they are kind of more like a classic trouser. So with the zip and button fly, 2 side pockets, 2 back pockets. And you know what? I thought these would be a bit more, even though the embroidery is the same colour as the trouser, it kind of makes them a statement item, but not so bold and in your face. I feel like they're a little bit more subtle. But I thought these would be a good option for me for my kind of evening wear, if you like, because smart casual is something that I can do, and I can do that comfortably, but I didn't have necessarily a lot of stuff in my wardrobe that I could mix up and make look a little bit different. Yes, so these were $49.99, which again, for the amount of embroidery and work that's gone into them, I think is an absolute steal. I think they're just absolutely beautiful. And worn with like maybe a cream silk top or even a black silk shirt or something on top. And on to my last pair of trousers from the trousers category. These are also from Zara, but these have got a very subtle stripe to them. So they're like a creamy colour, and actually the stripe is made up of teeny tiny little dots, so it's like a dotted line. They move really, really beautifully, and that is because these are predominantly viscose. So I think there's a 16%, if I remember correctly, 16, or it might even be 11% linen in these trousers. So they are predominantly viscose, and you can feel that in the fabric. It feels a lot softer than any sort of 100% linen fabric. I thought these would be a really good day trouser for when I'm out and about exploring. Could also very well be a good option given the elasticated waist for when I'm having lunch or buffet breakfast. Because let me tell you, I will be putting the buffet breakfast to the test. Right, moving on to my next category, which is tops. First of which is this Marks and Sparks top. Now this was £12.50, it's cotton stretchy fabric. And you know what, I think they're missing a trick here, because I bought this as a bit of a rogue option. I wasn't entirely sure if I was going to like it because it is a slimmer, tighter fitting item. And when it comes to basics on top, I like things baggy and loose. But I thought, you know what, this might be a good top for me to wear sort of in an evening kind of time that's not a t-shirt. It does have a little bit of something to it because it's got a slight off the shoulder vibe. It's this sort of asymmetric neckline. And I tried it on and I loved it, but it only comes in black and white. And I just think they're missing a trick with not doing this in other colours, because it is a really nice top and it's £12.50. That's such a bargain. Kind of thing that would look nice with, it could either be a pair of linen trousers, it could even be my embroidered trousers or the printed trousers. You could wear it with a skirt. Again, versatility. Onto some shirts within the top category, and this is from Zara. So this is an oversized shirt in a linen blend fabric. The fabric is very, very sheer. So this, again, you would either need to wear a basic underneath, or it could be a cover up, because it is also quite long because it is oversized. So you could have a little pair of denim shorts on and then throw this over the top of your swimwear, because the fabric is very, very, very sheer. But it has a stripe, which I love. You do not need to size up in this because it is already quite oversized. And yeah, I actually just thought the colour of this was quite unusual. You don't see this kind of colour stripe, you see a lot of blue stripes. And I'm not complaining about that, because in my opinion, there are never enough blue striped shirts. But yeah, the colour of this one was just intriguing to me. And again, I thought it would look quite nice with a tan. Never enough blue striped shirts. Exhibit A. I just think there's so much value in a blue striped shirt. It's one of those things that you can wear every day, denim shorts, linen trousers, jeans, whatever. It kind of sees you from spring all the way through until when we start to get proper autumn weather. And I also think it's one of those pieces which works really well if you have to do that smart casual dress code, because it's smart enough to be smart. But then if you have like a linen-y fabric, which this one is a viscose and linen, which is why it's so soft, then it also gives you the casual for the smart casual. But if you don't have a blue striped shirt in your wardrobe, I would highly advise one, because they are so useful. I've always got at least one in my wardrobe, and I just think that they're really versatile, and they just, I don't know, they just add a lot of value to my wardrobe, because it's always that thing that you can reach for, and it's just so easy to style. And finally, I am moving on to hats. So the first hat I've got is actually a menswear cap, and it's linen, and this is from H&M. This was £12.99. Let's pop it on, shall we? I love a baseball cap, and I wear caps and hats in general a lot through summer, because as I mentioned earlier, unless Simon cut it out, I try and keep my face so heavily protected from the sun. I did so much sun damage to my skin in my younger years, and I deeply regret it. And so now I wear Factor 50 on my face every day, including winter, even when I'm not going outside. And if I'm out in the sun, I will normally have some sort of hat on. So I'm a big fan of baseball caps. I wear those a lot, and I just thought that this one was a little bit less kind of sporty in terms of there's no logo on it or anything. It's a little bit more holiday vibes because it's made of linen. So it would go in with a very much sort of holiday wardrobe. I just thought it was a bit more fitting. Straw hat, or rather it's paper, it's 100% paper this, which is normally what a lot of straw hats are made out of. This is from H&M, and this is the comedy section of this video. I saw this online and I really wanted to love it. My mum has always told me that I suit any hat. Mum, what do you think? I don't know if that is true of this hat. There's something about this hat that I do not like, and I really wanted to. So first things to note is that it comes in 3 sizes. I tried on the small and this is the medium, and the small just wouldn't even fit over my head. And I've never thought I had a large head, and I've also not got loads of hair, not thick hair, to prevent like the hat from going on. This fits, but it does feel, it feels quite tight, like up here. The sort of thing where I might get a bit of a headache after wearing it for too long. But I also just thought it would be a bit longer, and it's not, it's shorter. So I don't know, there's just something about it that I don't like, and I'm gutted because I really wanted to like it. Having said that, it was $37.99, which from H&M is quite pricey because normally their hats are like a maximum of £20. So this was quite expensive, so I've saved myself a few quid there, and I've actually found a better option that I do like, which is this one. And some of you might laugh when I put this on, and I don't care because I love it. This hat, I do feel a bit like an elderly gardener, but I'm okay with that. I am in my gardening era, so I'm fine with that. So again, this is 100% paper. This one was from Marks and Sparks. It was just under £20 if I remember correctly. And it also comes in 4 different colours. Black, a dark brown, and then like a rusty reddy colour called Sienna. And I just think that this one is giving me more coverage, sun, face, covered. It's doing a better job. I like this one so much that I have also ordered it in the black, because I just think, yes, I've got myself, look at that, look at the size of that brim. That is some wide brim coverage. And it just, I think this fits more how I thought this one was going to fit. The brim is wider, it slopes down a bit lower, and it just gives a lot more coverage, which is what I was after. Now I also must remember to chat about these at the end of the video. Remind me. The next hat, or final hat, yes, final hat, 1, 2, 3, 4. Final hat that I've got with another one of these jobbies is from Arket, and it is a linen bucket hat. That's a la Oasis from the 90s. So this one's got a frayed hem. It does also come in 3 sizes. I can't remember what size I got this one in, but I will list it down below in the description box for anyone who is interested. It's definitely a snug fit, but it doesn't feel too tight. I feel like you don't want a hat too loose, but you also don't want it so tight that it brings on a headache. But nonetheless, I do like a bucket hat, and linen for me with this little raw hem just made sense. Now, to end the video, these game changers. These are little magnetic hat clips. I think it's just pleather. I just bought these off Amazon, but I'll link them down below in the description box. And they've got a magnet, pretty strong magnet actually, between them. So if you're out and about, or just out and about, where else would you be? And you wanted to take your hat off for some reason, maybe you're having lunch or you're undercover, whatever, you just want to dry off the hat sweat. These clip onto, or rather just magnetise to each other through the hat, and then they've got this little loopy thing which has got one of them on it, whatever you would call that, clasp, and that you can attach onto your bag. So then you've got your hat. That is strong, it's not coming off there, and you can pop it on your bag. Yeah, I found these and I was like, I've got to tell you guys about them. I got them in black and tan because most of my bags have black or tan on them. Right, well, that brings me to the end of today's video. Cruise-wise, I shall be departing on the 19th of July, so there'll be some content coming from that cruise. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you've got a favourite item, I would love to know. If you've got any questions, please do pop them down in the description box. Nope, sorry, pop them down in the comments. It's been a long day, forgive me. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time.